Welcome to Rich and Hydrated, your favorite legendary immerse laugh. This is the podcast. Whenever I say rich and hydrated, it means that you have to do some hydration too. I hope you can hear me. I am in the bedroom. I am in a very non flattering space right now. As you know, this is no delusion radio. I don't participate in anything like that has to look polished. I am currently monitoring the puppies. So if I'll have to step away for a second, you'll just hear me go like, hey, I'll have to take care of the puppies. I'll just leave the screen for a second and then I'll right be back. But um, let me first update or like bring some context as to how I got to this, why I'm recording this for the podcast episode. And then I'll go into like the sentimental stuff. So I am doing round 3 of 75 hard. I'm on day 3 of 75 hard. Yeah. The puppies have been, I don't want to say that they came too early because that's not accurate, but they came earlier than planned because with dogs, you don't know concretely like exactly when they're coming. There's like a spectrum, like 54 days to 68 days, something like that. So Saturday, was it Saturday or Friday? Friday night, there was mass chaos. My husband got like acutely annoyed with the dogs walking around the house in the middle of the night. It was 1:12 a.m. 1 a.m. and 12 minutes. Let me 1, 2, 3. Where's the fourth one? Yeah, and so he let the dogs out in the evening, in the night, to see if they, someone maybe they had like an upset tummy or something. Two only went outside, and they came back, and the chaos amplified instead of, if there's like a pee pee and a poo poo problem in the night, then after everyone comes back, there's like a calm. That was not the case this time. And I was slowly waking up myself, and I heard the rhythm of the dogs walking was not in a natural state, like not in a state that I'm familiar with them. Because again, when you have so much animals around you, like you get familiar with the rhythm around it and how they walk and how they behave and how they pant and how they breathe. And there was something off, so I got up and with my fucking sleepy eyes trying to figure out what's going on, who is where, what's doing what. And I'm noticing that everyone is following the wolf dog, and like the wolf dog is trying to get away from everyone. So I'm like, what's going on? What's going on over there? And I'm seeing that the wolf dog is clearly trying to get away from the dog. So I take all the other dogs, put them in the living room because now they're in the hallway, living room, bedroom, and I only take the wolf dog into the bedroom, which previously the door was open, so everyone's like kind of like walking in and around. And I assumed she just had like pregnancy annoyances or pregnancy stress, pregnancy discomfort. I don't know. I've never, as an adult, I've never witnessed, a dog being pregnant and get babies. Anyway, so she lays down in the dog bed next to my side of the bed, and she's making this real odd movement where like the tail goes up and the hips like flex and I'm like, oh my god, like something. So dumb me. So I'm going like, oh my god, something's wrong. What I didn't realize until a little bit later, oh my god, I look like a crazy person with the hair like this. Sorry. What I didn't realize until later is that she was having contractions and the labor had started. And I would say that within about like less than 5 minutes, there is a puppy on the dog bed. And I'm like, and now I'm yelling at the husband, okay, it's go time. It's fucking go time. I'm going to have puppy. Like, lock the dogs away. We need towels. We need some like stuff. None of the stuff that I had ordered to be fully prepared for the birth of the dogs like was here yet. Like nothing. Like everything was going to arrive Monday. And I was like, I am so prepared. Everything is going to be here 2 weeks in time. I'm going to be so prepared. I'm so excited for this. But no, none of it. Again, everything came after the delivery. And first baby was born at 1 a.m. I made a list. Then, like, the second baby came fairly easy. What did I put? What file? Probably in the magic file. Oh yeah, second puppy came 50 minutes later. Third puppy came 2 minutes after that. Fourth puppy came 20 minutes after that, and the last puppy came 50 minutes after that. So she did amazing. With the first three puppies, you could see that she was really uncomfortable and that she couldn't really find her position. So she kept like moving around and like violently, not on purpose, but violently like standing on her puppies, on her newborn puppies. So I know normally the rule is like try to intervene as less as possible, but we're seeing right now that like harm is being done to the puppies. Again, not on purpose, not with any malicious intent. So I grab one of my heated blankets that I always like obsessed with for the winter, plug it in, put the heated blanket on my lap, and just start collecting puppy number one and puppy number two as she is figuring out how to give birth to the other dogs, to the other puppies. 1 second, I missed one puppy. Where did he go? 1 second. Oh, he's at. There. Oh, there's your puppy. Okay, found the last puppy, and so you could tell like she's having difficulties finding a right position to. I'm in the bed. These are my knees, by the way. These are not other parts. So she's having a challenging time finding the right position to give birth while also taking care of the puppies that are already here. And after the third puppy, she really got into the momentum of that. So she would give birth while already nursing, and cleaning the puppies who were then like seeking her nipples. She's now correcting one of the puppies. Everything okay over there? Where's the fourth one? Oh, he's drinking milk. So it was beautiful to witness again, especially after the fourth one. After like it got she really started to get in the momentum of giving birth, and I think at like 6:30 or so, I called it a day and assumed that I'm not sure if I think I remember her eating the placenta, but at this point I'm tired, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed with excitement. So I wasn't completely sure, but I figured like, hey, stay up for a few more hours, and then from that onward, we will, she'll be fine. She'll be done. The day prior, we had gotten the X-rays done. And Odin, he's like the strongest. He's such a chunky fuck. He's the most wolf looking one. He's so mobile. He's trying to climb out of the dog bed right now. So I think I went back to bed for like an hour and a half or something like that. And day one, we're trying to figure out how to deal with all this on the run, right? So now, again, we don't have any preparation. I bought a bunch of raw food, but it was fully frozen. And I know she's not going to eat fucking kibbles here, even though we gave her kibbles. Like, she would try to hide the kibbles in the closet under the carpet. Like, she would dig up the carpet from its points where it's attached, dig up the carpet, and then hide the kibble under the carpet. So again, we're trying to figure out everything on the go, and filled with excitement, filled with love, filled with joy. 6 puppies. We figure out that one of them doesn't have a tail, and his hind legs legs are a little bit off. Like they're in a different shape, and one was kind of like curled. So I could see already that that one, that was the sixth puppy, the last puppy that was born, by the way. So I could see that clearly that puppy. Where's the last one? Okay, I could see that the last puppy clearly had some deformity. Is that the English word? I'm not sure. I could clearly see that it had a birth deform. So I had mentally prepared that that puppy would have to be put to sleep. Now, not fast forward. Now we're forward to Saturday night. Um, I am really, I'm not nervous nor stressed, but I'm on high energy and I want to keep an eye on these puppies. For one, because I've never handled the litter as an adult. Like when I was younger, we had litters around the house and being born, but again, you're not the one responsible for it, so your relationship to the experience is different. We can tell really early on that she's quite clumsy, but she's doing such a good job aside from that. Like she cleans them, she massages their belly, their private parts, so their bowel movement keeps going. She grabs them and puts them near her belly so they can find her nipples. Like she's doing a really good job, except for the fact that when she stands up, it seems that she's completely unaware of her where her legs are and where her body is in general. And I know that that's why I have a whelping box, which was ordered, by the way, with the pig rails on the inside. But that, like, it wasn't even that she was pushing them against the edge of the bed. Like she was literally standing on them, walking and almost trampling them, and completely unaware, like with no malicious intent, but just, again, I think that she's just unaware of her body and the size and her weight. So Saturday night, I wake up. I'm not gonna cry. I wake up and I do a check, and I'm like seeing what's going on, and I see one of the puppies laying in a position that clearly isn't a natural living position. And that was the first realization that she had smothered one of her puppies. Now it's Saturday night. I don't know. It's 2 a.m. at this point. I could look it up. It's like, oh, no, boo boo. Rich and hydrated, y'all. I need everyone to hydrate. So it's like 2 a.m. and I find the dead puppy, and he had just died because he still was soft. Now I'm trying, like, it's one of these weird things. Back when I had like one kind of like wild hair up my ass, I got my certification in Europe for a dog walking and like daycare service. Again, I have no idea what was up my ass, but part of that was dealing with litters, newborns, and first aid for dogs. So I'm trying to massage its heart to life again. I'm like, again, I'm just trying, right? Like, and like the puppy is dead. I wake up my husband, express puppy died. And now I'm on fucking high alert because I'm not going back to sleep with the risk of finding another puppy dead. And again, she's trying. Let me see where all the puppies are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that's when kind of the hard times started. I'm not willing to take off my eyes of these dogs, right? So we're watching them. I'm sitting here in the bedroom watching the puppies. One is trying to climb right now outside. Where's the puppy going? Where's the puppy going? I have to go to you. There we go. Yeah, I know, Freya. And I went to the kitchen to get a drink. Through the dogs outside. When I say through the dogs outside, I put the other dogs outside. And something tells me go go back to mom, to dog mom. And as I go back, she had just, and again, this isn't a time span of 4 minutes, 3 minutes, like barely. She's trying to, as we speak right now, retrieve one of her puppies who's like a wild walker. Don't pull him by his tail, silly girl. Oh, 1 second. Okay. So she had just laid on another puppy. So I'm like lifting her off the other puppy, and the puppy's still alive. It's the no tail puppy, by the way, which was, he was really chunky. He was really chunky, really strong, like really muscular, which is odd. I thought it was odd for a dog with like deformity. And so now I'm like canceling everything, and I'm sitting here, getting back on the floor next to the dog, and I can see that his movement, his breathing, everything starts to slow down. I'm not gonna cry. And I think an hour later, the second puppy had passed away. So we concluded that unfortunately, mom and dog cannot be left unsupervised at all, and 24/7 puppy monitoring duty had started. Let me just check where the third one is. 1 second. Hey, Bobby. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. All of them are there. Um, Between that happening and Monday morning, I had to save a puppy 49 times. Not one, but again, she will stand up, and she would really fully stand on him. And these are 1 year old, 1 day old puppies. Or she would, when dogs got the little like, I want attention kind of pawing, and she would just paw her puppies and they would just fly. And again, aside from that, she's really attentive. She really takes care of them. She cleans them, licks them, brings them back to the nipples. Like, it's such a contrast, specifically with her mom. Her mom, apparently, again, this is before my time, obviously, but husband expressed that her mom, who lives with us here, was a very, very, very gentle mom. Like, she would, Viking says that she would like almost be like a ballerina, not to touch any puppy. So it's such a contrast, with this boo boo. And let's see what we're going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So now puppy monitoring is going on full glory, 24/7. And Monday, I also started 75 hard round 3. I successfully succeeded 2 rounds. And if you know me by now, like, I'm not. I know, like, everyone was saying stuff like everyone would understand if you would stop or pause, or if you would if you would. I'm having some kind of weird comments. So everyone was sharing how, they would understand if I would stop, or if I would, reschedule 75 hard. And that's not me. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. So why am I getting like nasty comments? Let me see. Can I block user? Yes. So Friday night already, like, sleep deprivation start, right? Like, short on sleep. Then Saturday night happens. Then we have Sunday to Monday, and now it's really like full on. There's no leaving. There's no like leaving outside of the house. There's not even grabbing something from the car. The only thing like we could do at max is like quickly go to the bathroom or grab a drink. But like, there's no cooking. There's no like, there's nothing really alive. Like, 24/7 monitoring. Husband obviously still needs to work. So right now our schedule looks like husband comes back from work at 6 o'clock or so. He goes to bed at 7 p.m., then sleeps till 1 or 2 a.m. So I'm during this time, during the day and during his sleep, I'm monitoring the puppies. Then I go to sleep at 1 or 2 a.m., wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. Then I go do my first workout of the day because 75 Hard requires 2 workouts per day, and do the workouts with the other dogs because now they're just like stuck inside and they have no idea what's going on. And by the way, the other dogs are doing so well. They are such good dogs. I had, I wasn't worried, but I had my concerns. One, two, three, four. I had my concerns because, the Belgian Malinois is such an active dog. And the Belgian Malinois has not been without me since he's been here. Like, he'll go with me to the toilet, and he will literally, because look, he's a guard dog, so he will sit with his back facing me and his eyes looking on the door, and he will let me do my business, and then he'll come with me outside again. He'll go with me in the car grocery shopping. So he's constantly with me. He sleeps in the bedroom. He's not a cuddler that much, so he'll sleep next to the bed. But so he's always around, and we're all day around, all day, mostly outside, hanging outside, walking outside, doing something outside, doing the workouts. There's just constant activity and movement around the house. And now, mom, being me, is gone, and they cannot come into the hallway. They cannot come into the bedroom. So I had expected for the dogs to be much more chaotic or doing bad, but they are doing so good. What the babies. But I was absolutely wrong. The dogs are so good. So, so, so good. So this morning when I took them out, so yesterday was a very emotional day for me. The day before that, oh, we have some movement. 1 second. I just have to make sure that, hey, Freya, are you going to move? Well, you little big clumsy body? Let me see. Where's number 3? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So Sunday and Monday was emotional out of sadness. Yesterday came emotional just from being so tired. And I talked about this in my daily life that the only reason I can handle this right now is because, and I'm not going to cry, maybe I will, is because I envision that one day these puppies are going to be really old. We're keeping 2, by the way. One day they're going to be really old, and I hope that's many, many, many years from now, like in the far, far future. And they're going to have lived like a happy life, an active life, an adventurous life, right? Like they're really part of the family. And then when they're going to die, I'm going to look back at this moment exactly, and I'm going to wish that I could live this moment, regardless of how hard it was. I'm going to wish that I could do it again. So that's just energizing me and keeping me afloat. And it's been a real. So yesterday I had this like wave of anger and annoyance and sadness. Again, I'm just tired, right? Sleep deprivation is a whole different thing for the mind. And I had to be really, really intentional not to snap or not to verbally express any annoyance. 1 second, I have to just correct the. Where's the other puppy? Oh, there you go. Let's put this one here. Let's put this one there. Where's I'm gonna just keep an eye on them because she's moving a little bit right now. I don't want her to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm very intentional that I am so tired, which makes me so. I'm just annoyed. Not even with one thing, just with life. And The moment I walk into the living room, I have these other dogs that are so excited to see me, and they'll jump on me and jump way too much. And the Maligator is nibbly, nibbly. He's like, he's mouthy, so he wants to just have my arm in his mouth. And I'm legit observing. Like, there's this part of me that wants to snap, that wants to be annoyed, that wants to express a verbal whatever it is, and then there's the other part of me that's observing that, like that coming up. And then there's another part of me that is consciously making the choice. I'm not going to snap at the dogs or at friends or whatever, because these dogs are they're just happy to see me, and they deserve the best version of me, irregardless of me being tired because of another dog. So even though I don't have the energy that I normally have, because we're up, like I'm yelling, screaming, let's go play balls, blah, 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 like I'm walking around like a full zombie. My first workout, the first thing I do Monday is going on a run. Let me check right now where the silver one is. Freya. I'll have to check where one is. 1 second. Hey, where's the silver puppy? Where's the silver puppy? Oh, he's here. Okay. Okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. I'm back. So, and I'm in the middle of a run. So Monday, I'm on day 1 of 75 hard, and I have to go running. No, running was yesterday. So yesterday, my first workout is with the dogs in the morning before my husband goes to work. And it was my slowest run ever. Like, I feel at that point, like I was just trying to, I'm just making kind of this movement with legs and feet. And I'm just trying to survive at that point. Again, fucking exhaustion is real. And just trying to get through the workout, and I did it. And then back on the floor with the puppies, full-time monitoring. Husband goes to work. I hadn't realized, I mean, I realized rationally, but I hadn't realized how much of an outdoor person I have become again, because I grew up rural, I grew up in nature. But it's one thing to be stuck inside the house. It's a complete different thing being stuck on the floor in one room, in the bedroom of all places. Because we have a very neutral bedroom, because I want no like shenanigans in the bedroom, because the bedroom is to rest. Well, now now I can't rest, can't even take my eyes off the doggos, and so I'm like stuck in the bedroom on the floor or the bed. But from the bed, it takes me a lot of time to get off the bed and help the puppies in case they need help. So I'm mostly on the floor. My body is in such fucking agony and pain at this point. It doesn't matter how I sit, how I lay down, how I if I just squat, like my body is just in full on pain. And meanwhile, I still have my businesses that I'm running. I'm doing 75 hard, and I'm leading a 75 hard group, and I'm in a coaching container where I'm being coached. So there's like a lot going on. And it's so interesting because everyone sees me share these stories live, and they're like, how the fuck do you do it? Like, you're a fucking beast. And I think my biggest annoyance is with people's projection is that they say things like, it's understandable if you would. Where's the fourth button? Everyone's saying it's understandable if you would cancel 75 hard or move. And I'm just like, no. If I want a big life, challenging things and hard times are going to happen. And just because things are hard and challenging, you don't stop doing the things that, for one, that you made a commitment to, and two, that stretch you and require you to get through that fucking hard. And I made a post about this morning. Like 5 years ago, me would absolutely quit all her commitments, stop everything she was doing because, and probably fucking try to regulate with shitty food, fuck healthy food, which you need mostly when it's tired. Today I had my first meal, by the way, first day, so fucking good. I had bacon and eggs. Do you have all the puppies there? Are the puppies there, baby girl? Are you happy with your crooked teeth? Oh, you have such crooked teeth. I love you. Oh, you're such a beautiful mama. You're such a beautiful mama. So, my annoyance has absolutely been with people's projection. Not the, oh my god, how do you do it? You're a beast. That's compliment. Thank you for seeing me. But the, maybe you should reschedule, start later. I notice that I don't have mental bandwidth for people who have embodied any version of, inner demon that tells you you can do it another time, you can make it easier, you should do it. Where's yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Gotta check one puppy again. You're too heavy. It's too heavy. Yes. He's trying to get out. Yeah, he is. Okay, back. I simply have no bandwidth for any people that have embodied their weaknesses, limitations, and the worst thing is, and that's probably my biggest annoyance. And I've talked about this previously, by the way, when I touched on 75 hard doing round 3, because when I finished round 1, people would ask me, "Are you going to do round 2?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely going to do round 2, but after summer, because summer is hot." And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that totally makes sense." And I remember like 2 weeks or 3 weeks in, I was like, "Holy fucking shit. I'm using the weather as an excuse." And the worst thing is that everyone's agreeing with me. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that makes fucking sense." I don't want none of that. I needed someone to go like, "Well, that's an excuse," and me going like, "Well, blah 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 blah, blah." Like, what? No, this is a valid excuse, or some kind of fucking word vomit, only to cycle back faster to myself that was an excuse. But the thing is with excuses, or no, the thing is with reasons, I'm using air quotes right now, is that we think that the reasons are valid, right? Like an excuse would be like, "Oh no, I don't feel like it, it's busy, but no, I don't want to do 75 hard because it's summer and it's hot." Now that sounds like a valid reason. And I'm just like, no, I can't handle my own bullshit, so I definitely can't handle other people's bullshit and the fucking low standard people have. Um so I've been quite annoyed with people's, again, embodiment of weakness and throwing it at me. I'm not susceptible for it. I couldn't, like, I will definitely not listen. But it does show me something about people, and I don't like to see that side of people, and I don't like how my brain responds to that, because it's kind of like I respond to it with a kind of like a disdain, and now I'm perceiving you as weak forever because I'm probably too black and white in that. So I'm cabin fever. I'm doing my 75 hard while being stuck in, like, I don't know, what is it, 4 foot, 4 square foot. Yesterday my brain was so fried I couldn't do any work. Today, however, like, I did a bunch of work this morning while being extremely tired. So Sadie says, anytime I see maybe you should when I'm going through a rough time, I'm immediately like, maybe you should shut the fuck up and do that yourself. 100%. 100%. So this morning, my workout was, I'm trying to figure out like what, like, Walking Dead. Like, I'm pretty sure I look like the Walking Dead right now. I right now I sound quite active because apparently, like, after like 10 a.m. I start to get some kind of energy from someplace in the universe. And I'm still riding on that. It's 4 p.m. right now. But the early mornings with the lack of sleep, they're intense. And normally, I don't drink coffee, but normally when I'm awake, I'm like, "Riching, we're awake, let's fucking go." I'm like, if cocaine and Red Bull had a baby, that would be me. So it's odd to experience like slow mornings, and like your body kind of being like, "Hey, we can go harder." Sadie says, there is a fine line between self-care and self-sabotage when it comes to hard times. You are the only person that knows your limits, and any other input is just white noise. Yes, and I would say, um, thank you for bringing this up. But what I would say is the commitments you made are non-negotiable. I think most people's problem is with their projections on and their mental limitations about me doing the 75 hard, especially in this time, because I'm talking everyone through this. I'm doing my lives daily because I committed to doing a daily live. I'm talking, I'm posting, I'm sharing like, hey, I look like fucking shit, but I'm on a workout right now, because this is what it looks like in hard times. So, and I've talked in my 75 hard group about this. People have this odd notion, and I'm not really sure that when you do 75 hard or when you challenge yourself physically in regards to like fitness and etc. Let me see what, okay, everyone's safe, that you'll always have to look like Rocky Balboa, da, 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 or whatever. And no, 75 hard requires me to go hard every day. However, my heart, when I'm fucking ovulating, when I've slept 8 hours, looks significantly different than my heart right now. Because right now, my going fucking as hard as I can looks like The Walking Dead, including the fucking sounds, including the nausea of being so tired that I just want to fucking vomit. I can't eat anything because I'm too sick. If I just thinking about food makes me nauseous. So I'm running on no food, no sleep. Um, so my 75 hard workout is going to look different on that day. And that's a non-negotiable. Like it's a non-negotiable. And now I have this amazing business coach, business mentor, Maddie. And she is a even more brutal and harder person than I am, which I really like and need. So because previously when I'm doing work stuff and I don't feel like it, I'm dropping that the first thing. Why? Because I fucking can. I don't have to fucking work, right? Like, so I can take off for a fucking month, not even open my computer, still be fucking fine. I work because I really enjoy and I have bigger goals. But so I would make this commitment, like, hey, I want this company to grow, so let me get at it. And then when challenges would arise, I would drop that. I would drop the business because I can, right? Because I don't have to. And now that I'm working with her, it was very clear, like, no, my goal is to grow this business, which means under all circumstances, not when I don't feel like it, you know what I mean? And she made us, she has like a daily task that we're required to do. And I've noticed like in that my mind starts to negotiate. So I would, you know, have a hectic day, and then in the evening be like, shit, I didn't do one or two things from the daily list yet. Maybe I can just like not do it. It's like not a big deal. And then I'm like instantly my 75 hard brain kicks in, because no, I've committed to something. We're doing this. And if that means that I'm doing it with less energy, if that means I'm doing it with less glitter, let that be it. But I'm a show up fully, and I'm a do the thing that I said that I was going to do. And by the way, that's the reason. So I think people would consider this like discipline. That's the reason why I am a cocky motherfucker. That's why no one can fucking touch my confidence, because my my word is my law, and can't break it. And now again, so I had my business, or prior to 75 hard, I had like my food diet being challenging. Now I'm like, that's a non-negotiable. Like there's no inner dialogue about it anymore. Like this is just life right now. And I'm at a point right now with business, with my sales mentor, where I'm like, oh, this is just part of life right now. My feelings temporarily are completely irrelevant, because the things I am doing and showing up is non-negotiable. The downside of becoming so brutal in this, or even more brutal, is that my empathy, which I have a really like I have a really hard time with empathy or compassion. It's not, it's for me, it's a theoretical concept. I don't naturally have it. So now even my ability to observe people's like reasons slash fucking excuses, bullshit excuses, is now in deficit. Like it's below zero. It was already nothing, and now it's below zero. So it's been interesting to observe like people like throwing out their excuses like they're fucking married to it, and I'm like, oof. And I don't have prior. I would have like a real reaction to it. Now I'm just like, oh, noted, noted. Oh, I know. I was in that place at one time where I really thought that that reason sounded like a valid reason, but it's actually a fucking excuse. But coming full cycle to where I started off as the reason to coming online is that I've never been on a laptop or phone as much as I have these days because there's a TV. I do my daily reading, but again, I'm so exhausted that reading, I can read the words and I have no idea what the fuck I read. So my daily minimum is 10 pages and I'm doing that, but I'm not trying to, stretch my brain because there's just no, it's not putting anything in anymore. So I'm scrolling and I don't scroll on social media, by the way. I have a 10-minute social media scrolling limit per day, and I rarely touch that one. I like to look at architecture. Like to look at real estate. I like to look at horses. I like to shop horse saddles, and I like to look at, if I had $5 billion, what kind of barns would I build worldwide? Like that's what I'm mostly doing. I like cars. I like motorcycles. So that's mostly what I'm occupying my online time with. Again, not social media scrolling because I'm fucking brain dead. And for whatever reason, I'm not really sure what triggered it. I think it was a smell outside during my first workout, but something reminded me of home. And by that, I mean East Europe, Czech Republic. So I started looking at real estate in Czech Republic. And I was talking to my inner circle, and I was talking to some fellow immigrants, legal immigrants who are living the American dream. And we were just kind of going back and forth, like, because everyone keeps asking me, are you going to go back to Europe? Are you going to take Viking to visit? And I'm like, no, fuck Europe. Like, fuck Europe so fucking hard. For all I care, it can burn. Because I have such a visceral reaction towards, like, Europe was going downhill with EU, with the European Union, and now, however it handled politically and economically COVID-19, like it pisses me off beyond words. And I'm not gonna go down the like, we had to have a form signed by the government to walk outside, and I've fun stories, and I share these stories in in other episodes. But me and Europe are on non-speaking terms. So I didn't know I was going to move to America. That happened by accident. Because I moved to Mexico because it was the only country that I could get into. Not because of where I could go, because that was the only flight that was going somewhere, not Europe. So I went to Mexico, right? And I accidentally landed in America. So me and Europe are on non-speaking terms. And people who have never moved or lived in another country, and it's not the same when you move to another state, because you have the same financial system, economic system, you have the same actual language, you have the same rules and laws on a larger scale. When you move to another country, all of that goes out of the window. When you move to another country, there's a part of you that dies. And by the way, and like, let me preface, I love America with such, like, I'm getting an American tattoo. I'm getting an American flag tattoo. Deposit is done. It's in a year and a half. Like, me and America, we're good. America loves me. I love America. I love what it stands for. I love all the amendments. I love the Constitution. Like, I love America. And when I moved, and back then I didn't know if I was not going to be in Europe back again, right? Like, again, the world is in turbulence and chaos. But when you move to another country, a part of you dies. And it's not like, the part of me that died is the part that when me and my aunt, because my aunt is doing good, like, let's say we come from subpar circumstance, right? I made it. I'm a fucking baller right now. Career, money, like, especially in East European terms. Like, I made it. My aunt is doing fucking amazing. Me and my aunt, we have been trying to find a property to buy together or alone, whatever, where we would be like, oh my God, this is so pretty. This is like, let's build here as adults and recreate that deep sense of home that we had when we were younger before the world turned crazy. And that part dies of you. That part dies. Like, I will never be able to even my aunt and I as adults would play like little like hot dog store. Our cabins in Czech Republic, they have like this window in the kitchen, and some cabins in commercial areas, they turn that into a store where they're like, you can buy, a hot dog, and we have sweet ketchup. We don't have ketchup like Americans do, and we have like soft mustard. That's what it's called. So so my aunt would be in the kitchen in her window, and I'm like, can I order like one hot dog with like a sweet ketchup and soft mustard? And she's like, here you go, and it would be like 10 crowns, which is like, I don't know, $10 cents, right? And even as adults, obviously we wouldn't play it as elaborate as I'm saying it right now, but we would still like, that's such a core memory. That part dies, right? Because I'll never even be able to play pretend that we can play that game again. The part of me where I'm exploring, visiting a new church, a new castle. We have so many castles. And being like, oh my God, people actually fucking lived here. Like, that part of you dies. The part of you where you're like, because obviously I wasn't married before. Still not married to Viking husband, but prior to finding the love of your life, you're like, whenever I find the love of my life, I will show him here. I will show him here. That part of you dies. The culture, the food that's on one hand ingrained in memories, grandmas, aunts, city, rural life, like all those stuff, those die. And I did the whole thing where, again, I ordered all the food, not from a American store that imports it from Czech Republic. I ordered it directly from Czech Republic. And the stuff arrives here, and I'm like, it does not taste the same here. It does not taste the same. So when you move to another country, a part of you dies. Not just a part that you were while you were living in that life, but a part of the plans you have made for your future. That part dies too. Like your, let's call it potential, or the paths you were able to walk in that life, those die. And I was sharing with Hannah. She's a German immigrant, also fucking living the American dream, absolutely loving American as well. And another Czech gal that I met through the coaching, she lives also in America, living the American dream. Is that on one hand, like we miss Europe, and people keep asking me, would you ever consider moving back? And I'm like, no. And let's for a second just pause the fact that I'm angry at Europe. Like, let's say I could pause that. Let's say that I could like erase that, or just be like, okay, let's say that I could hypothetically let go of that. I still couldn't move back to Europe. And let's say my husband would be game, right? Like, and we could bring the whole family. Let's say all these things would be possible. I still would not be able to go back to Europe, because how do you live in nations, right? Because Europe is, 49 nations? How do you live in nations with such defined tiny borders that are so small when you've experienced the bigness, the vastness of America? It's impossible. And while I always joke in America, like, there's no real American food. Like the meats, the steaks, the hamburgers. Fuck, oof. I'm on a carnivore diet. Like fucking daddy, yes. Um, but it doesn't have the fully ingrained cultural trajectory that food goes through when it goes through variety of economic cycles, class cycles. You have subcultures, like if you go to New Orleans, that's a completely different subculture and has its own completely own food. New York again, so you have subcultures, but as a big culture, there's no cultural food, right? um so like I always joke that the church in my town is built in the 1500s. America was like it's older than America, right? So I always joke about that. And American churches are fucking ugly as fuck. Even like the few Orthodox one, people showed me some. I'm like, they're okay, like in a diet version. But you have to understand, I came from Catholic. These are the churches that I'm used to, and I would pull up pictures. That's a joke I always make towards Americans. But then on the other hand, on the other side, I could never go back because how how would you go back after you have tasted, experienced, and lived the American dreams, which means possibility. There's no fucking ceiling. There's no financial ceiling. There's no practical ceiling. Like you can literally become and do whatever you want in America. And I'm not even touching on the Second Amendment. I'm not even touching about the freedom. Like I'm not even touching about that. Just from a living like compass, like a North Star. This week my cousin, she sent me a listing in the Netherlands saying like, oh look, this is a big property, pretty house. And the house was gorgeous, don't get me wrong. Very European. 1 second, I have to check. Oh yeah, okay, all the dogs are here. And it was like 2.5 acres. And I'm like, I could never. We have 65 acres right now, surrounded by national forest. I could never move into 2.5 acres. The fuck? Where are my horses going to pasture? Where are my dogs going to run? What? But you can't explain that feeling of vastness unless you've experienced it yourself. And don't get me wrong, I've had friends and people visit here from Europe and them still not getting it. So it's not a, oh, I'll just show them visually the vastness and they'll get it. No, that's just like, and by the way, what I'm going to say right now is probably going to sound degrading, and I really don't mean it in a degrading way. But Europe is like the lizard that I used to have. My lizard used to walk around the bedroom, and then one day I left the door open, and my lizard went outside on his like a floor, and he was in the hallway, and I saw him, and he's like, "Oh shit, this is too big." And that's European mentality in a fucking shell nut. And I know there's Americans who have that too, because I do think that there's a bunch of Americans who are more of a following nature that would really excel in the structure and the smallness and the tininess that Europe is. But for big personalities like me, big dreams, big personalities, big goals, big execution, big discipline, America is the fucking end all be all. So no, I could not never go back and this is the thing, I can't explain to Europeans what freedom, what vastness and large and encouragement an American dream tastes like or feels like or looks like, because it's trying to explain what it would be like to drive with a clean window if you've only driven a car with dirty windows your whole life. Like I can theoretically use the words. Again, I speak 9 languages. I'm pretty sure I can convey the message in a theoretic sense, but I can't explain the core, like the feeling in the body, the embodiment of it. So whereas in Europe, I'm like, oh my God, actual kings lived here not that long ago. The opposite happens when I'm here in America in the nature, because I'll look around, I'll look on the mountains and be like, the fucking psychopaths that came to America Again, whether they were crazy or brave or courageous, or whether those three are such a thin line, who the fuck knows, to be like, they arrived somewhere on the East Coast and they were like, you know what? We're going to go over yonder and then look at a mountain. And then, half of them would die from diarrhea. The other half would die because nature is just, nature is a cunt. And not because she has anything personal against you. She is just by virtue of her nature, right? She's just brutal. Like, that's the taste that I'm having here when I'm in America and when I'm outside, especially here where like this was uninhabited. Like, people did not live here. Too rough land. Too rough land. So whenever my Viking husband takes me to these historic places, like, hey, this was this in this passage. This was the Bozeman Trail, or like the Bozeman Trail. I did that one when I lived in, or I visited that when I lived in Montana myself, right? Like, I can, while the history of America is really short, I can tap in and feel and honor and respect what it must have taken for people to take the leap to come to America while not knowing if the land will kill you, if the animals will kill you, if the natives will kill you, if other fellow white people or whatever fucking Asian people, whatever's coming is going to kill you. Again, it's just you versus the world. And the world in that context was a very hostile place. Like, I respect and honor that courage, that bravery that it took to. So I don't even think people came here fully with intent. No, because you don't know what there is. So you cannot be like, oh, I'm going to create that life over there, because you don't know what that is. Like, for that, in order to say I'm going to create a life XYZ, you'll have to have a context of what over there is. People didn't know that. So, like, you want to talk about people embracing the unknown, you have the epitome of how America was created. Like, oh my fucking God. Like, again, such deep respect, such deep honor I have for that. And then we'll get into 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll get into, conversations such as, by the way, we're rich and hydrated. Be sure to drink, because we're on the Rich and Hydrated podcast. And then we can get into subjects like the Second Amendment and protecting yourself, and which is a non-thing in especially West Europe. And East Europe. In East Europe, you really, like, in the cities you have authority. In the rural, no, things get handled different, or they don't get handled, or they get handled different, if you know what I mean. In West Europe, you have to fully retreat. If a burglar breaks into your house and he breaks his leg because he tripped over something, you can be held liable. So, like, it's just a no, just a fucking no, just no. And however, Europe as a whole is going right now, West Europe specifically, with their things like you can be arrested for whatever you posted online. I'm just like, no, like, y'all people, like, ask for this, y'all can fucking have it. Lay in the bed you made. Be weak and let those regulations and rules just happen. And by the way, I'm not delusional. Americans are getting weak too. These rules and regulations are still happening too. However, there's actually some level of fighting back here, whether it being illegal, or if shit would really have to hit the fan, it would be in a physical, armed way. So yeah, long story short, it took me 59 minutes to go from, hey, update about the puppies at 75 hard and my disdain towards people that verbalize their weakness and, like, promote their weakness. Don't promote your fucking weakness. Don't. I've asked one of these people, be like, okay, so your brain thought this and your mouth said it and you thought that was a good thing to do. Like, no, don't brag about your weakness. Don't, like, hide it in a fucking corner. You should be ashamed. But to cycle back and come around with, a part of you dies when you move to another country. And I've lived in 7 countries, but always with an open ending. Like, I would always come back home or have some level of a home or some base. I don't have any home bases anymore except for America. So, yeah, it's a very it's a it's a very niche feeling that only immigrants understand. Um, even the fact that I'm like, where's the fourth one? Oh, yeah, okay. Even the fact that I get exhausted of talking English. English is my fourth language, and I don't translate from my mother language to English. I translate through the language that I learned English with, which so it's like Czech, Dutch, then English. So my mind goes through this like triangle before anything I fucking say because I think still in my own language. And on days like this, I'm just like annoyed. Why don't y'all speak Czech? Or in this case, why don't y'all speak Dutch? I'm just so tired of speaking English. And also, this is with a wink. I'm saying this with a smile. I'm saying this with a wink. But again, immigrant problems. And then on the other hand, again, trying to explain to Europeans the how small Europe is and how physical borders, the size of your country, affect not only your culture but your personal mindset. Impossible. Impossible. Too long, didn't read America's Superior. Thank God. I'm the luckiest person alive. Um, I have the feeling I'm getting like I'm getting kicked now. I'm getting fucking tired. It's 4:30 and I have to stay up until at least 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then I'll get to sleep 4 hours. But it's all worth it because one day the puppies are going to be super old, and I'm going to look back at this moment and be like, "We did that," and I can't, I'm going to miss them when they're younger, when they're older, when they were younger, when they are older. So with that being said, 75 hard, day 3, round 3. I'm in a very nostalgic. I think it's nostalgia missing. I'm like online window shopping, check real estate, and I touched on the German border as well, and I touched on the Netherlands and Poland. Will I ever move there? Fuck no. I did share today on the Twitters that I might actually just fly and check architecture into America and have him draw and build a house here. Like, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? With that being said, my glorious ones, this was significantly longer than I planned initially. Thank you for witnessing, observing, for how, regardless of how long you've been here. If you've been here for a minute, if you've been here for a whole hour, if you've been here for 20 minutes, I'll upload it. It'll be on Spotify and on Apple Podcast. Rich and hydrated. I need y'all to follow it. I need y'all to give me 5 stars. And if I triggered you, if I upset you, you get to jump in my DM on any social media platform and you got to cuss at me and tell me why I upset you. I always love when I hear upsetting people. Things that are going on. I have my free 75 hard group going on. Hit me up if you don't find the link. Hit me up and join, regardless of whether you start on, whether you are going to start right now or whether you on day 50. I have people in group that jumped over from my first group and they're already on day 50. So absolutely excellent. I'll be spamming my 75 hard stories. If you're not in my membership, No Delusion Radio, you need to be in there too. I share all about the behind the scenes, about the progress and process and mental up leveling of daily challenges while having a big business, while being a wife, being a fitness person in the making, while being a dog mom, like all of this, while having and aspiring to your big dreams. I talk all about that. And then obviously my signature program, Soul Mansion, that's all about the mental upgrade. Nothing like that exists. I still need to figure out like a tagline, how I explain it, because nothing exists like that. It's really hard in a pitch to explain, which I have to work on. I have to be able to pitch my program because I'm so fucking confident and excited about it. And for those who have a challenging time with discipline, you need to get in my program, Say Yes. It's 30 days of recordings. You can listen to them back to back, or you can just jump in between episodes. I'll change your relationship to discipline forever. I'll change it for you from a punitive I have to kind of thing to, oh my God, I'm so excited about doing this thing. I promise you. So with that being said, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, follow me, like me, share. Again, tell me your comments. Let's fucking get at it. Life is good. The gods are good. I'm the luckiest person alive, and I'll see y'all.